Hey, party people! It is about to be 2020 and I can't believe it. But before 2020 comes, I kind of wanted to just make a video about what my 2019 has been. I think a lot of people already know, but in case you didn't, my goal for 2019 was to travel once a month for the entire year, whether that was in Salt Lake or Dubai. Anywhere I wanted to go within reason and budget and everything. I made an effort to go once a month. And even when I made the goal, because I had a few trips already booked out, so I was like, oh, I've got like half the year, I can do the other half. It was like still a little hard because I was like, there's no way this is gonna happen. The entire year I was like, 1 month is gonna fall through, like it's not actually gonna happen. Newsflash, it did. To kind of go back into why I made that goal. So first of all, like I said, I already had some trips booked out. Second of all, I this year just kind of wanted to go international. That was one of my goals from the beginning. I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to go on an international trip. Like I've only been to a couple places with my parents and it'd be really cool to kind of just see the world. And I looked into it and I was like, this is so expensive. Like, what? And I didn't want to go by myself because I get kind of lonely and I like having other people around. And I was like, okay, maybe that won't happen. I'll just save it for next year. And then I saw this girl who I had actually met through a trip. My friend Jess invited me on a last minute Park City weekend with some girls. And that's where I met Carissa. And I saw she had posted asking if anyone was going on travel adventures in 2019. And I was like, I messaged back and I was like, I don't have any plans, but if you know people that are, like, and they need an extra person in the group, like, please include me. And then a week later, met up with Lily and Maddie and Krissa, and knowing them less than 24 hours, we booked a trip together. And it was honestly the best decision of my life. And it changed my entire year. So to kind of recap, like, what trips I went on, I want to just go by, like, each month and tell you where I went. So in January, I went to Las Vegas for my sister's birthday. In February, I went to San Diego for a all-female work event. In March is when the big trip happened with the girls. We went to Amsterdam, Belgium, and Dubai. Hands down, one of the best trips ever. In April, I went back to Las Vegas for a work event. In May, I went to Kansas City, Missouri to see one of my favorite families and best friends and little baby Indy. And then I also made a last minute trip home to Ohio because my parents were selling my childhood home, which was the roughest trip ever. And it was super hard, but I'm so glad I went. And then in June, I went back to Ohio for my originally scheduled trip where my parents ambushed me and sold our house. In July, I went to Disneyland with Whit and also Lily and Maddie because Whit had an awesome hookup through work. And it was so cool. It was so cool to see it from like a different side. Then in August, I got to go to the Grand Canyon with my best friend Hannah, which was on my bucket list to go. In September, I went to Disneyland again and downtown LA with my friend Hannah because we wanted to go for Halloween, which I highly recommend. And then that leads us to October, where I went with Whitney and Maddie and Lily to Maui. Such a fun trip, so cool, love the vibe, got to celebrate Maddie's birthday, and it was so fun. In November, I got to go to Cancun with a work trip, and it was cool because I've never been to Mexico, so that was awesome. Then I got to go on a little excursion with one of my coworkers and kind of see something outside of the resort, which was fun. And then in December, I ended it here in Salt Lake with one of my good friends, Shailene. We stayed at the Grand America and just had like we had some time in the spa, had a little girls weekend night thing. And that kind of wraps up like where I've been this whole year, which I know like all my friends or people I know, like I'm always gone, and it was a lot. Honestly, it was a lot. And I don't know how people like the bucket list family or other people do it where it's like constantly, but I enjoyed it. And I calculated how many miles, I don't know how many hours or days or whatever because it was so much, but I traveled 38,479 miles. That is literally 1.5 times around the earth. What? I know there's people out there who have traveled more than that in maybe a month or 2 months or something because of work or whatever reason. But for me, that's a lot. And I had a blast. 3 takeaways. 1, there's so many cultures and different things out there that we all need to learn and understand and grow an appreciation for. And there's so much more that I didn't even realize existed. 2, it's so important to get out of where you are, whether it's to another state, to another country, to another city. Like, it's so important to kind of escape your reality for a little bit, and just kind of enjoy where you're at. 3, even though traveling is so much fun and it seems like that's all anybody wants to do these days, it's still super important to value like what you have at home. And I realized, by traveling so much, I missed out on parties or things with my friends. And even though I enjoyed my time where I was, I still also would have enjoyed being home. And I think it gave me a greater appreciation for my friends and family who are here, or some of the places I visited, to really not take them for granted and to really appreciate them and make the most of the time we have, and not spend all of our time on our phones or any of that. Like, pictures and videos, they're great, and I'll show you some from my trips, but being in the moment is the best part. And so I just want to recap. I'll show you some pictures and vids from the trip with my friends on the trip, everything. But I just wanted to come on and say Happy New Year. If you have someplace you want to go, like, just do it. Obviously, there's a ton of barriers from price and timing and everything like that, but if you can make it work, like, just go. You'll never regret it. You'll always enjoy the time. And yeah, just live your lives. Live your best lives. It is 2020. Live your best lives. Enjoy the new year. And enjoy some videos and pictures right now.
Oh.